you sincerely trying to save the world?
Well, I'm trying to do good things, yeah. I mean, saving the world is not I mean...
But you're trying to do good things and you're a billionaire. I mean...
Yeah.
That seems a little bit like either superhero or supervillain.
If Musk is a supervillain, he doesn't do a very good job at it.
The Securities and Exchange Committee has reportedly now served Tesla with a subpoena.
Tesla in turmoil.
This call for Tesla is the talk of Wall Street. So you can see the stock sinking.
The stock tanking today after Elon Musk's bombshell interview with the New York Times. It's now
somebody has got to help him here, because no one can do all this alone.
Right now, the Tesla shares are halted as of this moment for news pending.
For almost half a decade, analysts have tried to answer a simple question.
Will this company change the automobile industry forever, or is the stock overvalued? And I think the answer is yes.
The critics have been around for a while and are increasingly vocal of their opinion about the stock, that it's overrated and ludicrously valued.
If you want to stick with the facts on the ground, you're never going to be an investor in Tesla.
It's a recitation.
Your business model is flawed, and it's doomed. And
this company has been about selling the sizzle. Now that the steak is here, the steak is sort of raw and uncooked.
Neutral corners. If you want to invest in fantasy, TSLA. Go ahead.
They point to an extreme valuation and low sales as an indication of an overvalued stock. Musk cheerleaders, on the other hand, are almost fanatical in their continued support of the company.
You have said this is a $4,000 stock.
People say, oh, it's a bubble. Well, they were saying bubble when it IPO'd in 2010 almost every day.
We think they're 3 years ahead of any other auto manufacturer.
The tension between the two camps has created a battle between Elon Musk and the short sellers betting against him, Tesla, and the future. But if you think we're experiencing something new,
there's never been a stock or a story like this one.
You'd be wrong. The year was 1911. Harry Stutz was an engineer who thought he could build a better automobile. That he did. The Bearcat came in with a bang. Harry entered it into the first Indianapolis 500, and it came in 11th. People flocked to buy the car, and in 1916, the company was doing great. Along comes an investor, Mr. Ryan.
Ryan?
Alan A. Ryan is seen as an outsider on Wall Street. He has many enemies, including his own father, the father who made $150 million in American tobacco, the New York streetcar system, and the Tommy gun.
Come on, you miserable salary bitch!
1919. Ryan is the largest shareholder and becomes CEO.
In 2003, Tesla Motors is founded by friends and engineers Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, who named the company for the physicist Nikola Tesla.
In 2008, they would be kicked out of the company and replaced by Elon Musk, the man responsible for initially funding Tesla. Ironically, it was around this time when people began predicting Tesla's demise. A Tesla death watch was started, and so began a decades-long worry over financing.
So why is Tesla doing so well?
By 1919, the Stutz stock was on a tear. Ryan's colleagues on Wall Street decided that the stock price was too high. They began en masse to short the stock. Shorting stock works like this. Find someone and borrow their shares. Of course, you'll pay the owner a fee for their trouble. Then you sell the shares with the hope of buying them at a lower price in the future. Most of this is now done on computers. By shorting shares, you are betting that the stock price will go down. Unfortunately,
nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in.
Short selling is a very risky endeavor that hinges on accurately predicting the future price of the stock. But you cannot accurately and consistently predict the market. Eventually, you must repurchase the shares and return them to the rightful owner. If the stock price rises during this time, you can lose a lot of money. Elon Musk has a beef with short sellers, and there are plenty of them. While the exact number changes every day, there's a lot of money shorting Tesla.
Tesla is the most shorted U.S. equity. More than 35 million shares have been shorted, with a short interest now at a whopping $11.7 billion.
This is something very personal for Elon Musk.
When Elon Musk sent out a cryptic message on August 7th, 2018, I wasn't all that surprised. Alan Ryan's approach made Musk's funding-secured tweet seem banal. Ryan was rich, but he wasn't that rich. As more traders sold short, he started personally borrowing huge sums and proceeded to purchase every single share of Stutz on the open market. He kept buying and buying and buying until eventually this tiny luxury racing car company was priced at almost $400 per share, 10 times its value 1 year earlier. Then the ridiculous happens. The stock stops trading. Alan Ryan owns every single share in the Stutz Motor Company. There's just one problem. There were still traders who held short contracts. They couldn't return the stock because there were none available to buy. Based on exchange rules, Ryan could have forced the short sellers to pay any figure he set. Legally, he could price the stock at $1 million a share. Unfortunately for Ryan, 1919 Wall Street was like the Wild West. Rules didn't always apply. After some very acrimonious weeks, when a lot of people said some very nasty things, Alan A. Ryan kind of won. He eventually got the short sellers to pay him $550 per share for each share they had borrowed, but that wasn't nearly enough. He inflicted some serious pain on both the ego and wallet of his former colleagues, but ruined himself in the process. He ended up having to sell every single share of the company to pay off his debt. That wasn't even enough. He still went bankrupt. The cornering of Stutz is just a cool bit of history, not some prelude to deja vu. Musk is still trying to win the fight against the short sellers, but he needs to realize that on Wall Street, winning doesn't always mean making money.
That seems a little bit like either superhero or supervillain. You have to choose one.
We're trying to do useful things. Yeah.
Oh, and Ryan's father and his $150 million fortune. In the end, all Ryan got was his pearl tuxedo studs.